Hi, how are you? Wabunifu. This is Francis from Bunifu Branding. And I want us to discuss something very interesting. And how do you keep someone's life alive? And how do you keep business alive? So today I want to talk about life. Yeah. You see those pulse that ICU, you find in ICU. Doctors try to contain someone's life as they monitor those pulse, those two things, and they can tell whether those things as they are bigger or as they flatten, they're able to tell whether you're doing well or you're not doing well. So that's very critical. That's very critical because they must observe that in the ICU or whatever they call it. And also in business, their pulse. You need to check whether your business has those, or it's flattening before it goes down. You remember those things that we were studying in business classes? So the curve, uh, you know, sales and projection, and you put that curve. Growth, plateau, then falls. So what keeps that business pulse going or steady is very important. And that's why they say marketers and doctors have a close understanding of their patients, because marketers are busy resuscitating or managing business life. Doctors are busy managing human life. And that's why for those of us who studied branding and marketing and sales, we were told you have to understand the psychology, the mind of the mind. You have to do something called neuromarketing. Like doctors do neurosurgery. All that is just studying the mind. And I think, yeah. So you have to understand the psychology of your patient. And for us who are in business, the psychology of the buyer. And that's why we have to understand the sales process. So I'll be introducing and I'll be discussing more about sales, because that is the lifeline of any business. And not necessarily in a business. Anyone who is in commerce or offering a service. It could be a pastor, could be an engineer, could be, yeah, anyone out there that you have to represent something. You are advocating something. You are telling us about something for you to be, in existence, for you to be relevant. And so sales is that pulse that you need in your business. And without understanding your patient, how they react, their mannerism, the understanding of the issue at hand, let's say the disease, if it's diabetes, lifestyle, what do you avoid and what do you do, all those things, the do's and the don'ts. And that's how critical sales is. And so in our field, you should be able to understand sales, you should be able to understand marketing, and you should be able to understand branding if you're in commerce, if you're in business. Otherwise, you'll be doing guesswork. And you might find that customers left you because you're not in touch, you're not in tandem, you're not in sync, you're not listening to the things that affect them, the needs, and how they are advancing and how things are changing. And so as a business person, it is your responsibility to ensure that you understand the sales process and how that works out. So please, I'll be discussing that, and I want us to go step by step, because when you understand the sales process and how you understand how you do the sales funnel in simple. So what's a sales funnel? A sales funnel is something like this. You know the kisiagi thing where you put maize and it's processed and comes out as flour? So that's the sales funnel. That's how a customer is processed. So we say if you the 10-for-1 rule, that if you have 10 customers, those are inquiries, and then 10 customers are here. It's usually bigger. Then 4 will consider your product. You know, send me a quote. Let's discuss. Come say me those things. Then here is 1% might buy or will buy. So the 10-for-1 rule. So if you have 100 inquiries, let's say you visited an expo and you got 100 inquiries, most likely 40% would consider, after you have done your follow-up. 40% will say, send me a quote, let me think about it, blah, 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 blah. Then 10%, that is the 10% of 100, those are 10 inquiries, will now actually buy. And if you're able to work around the 40, then they cascade into 10, and then you're able to sell. That's a sales funnel. So starts from a bigger pool, then goes to the middle, people who are considering, then you go to the middle where now fly is coming. That's when now you're able now to say, Niko na unga, I have customers. So please keep checking us. We'll be discussing more of sales, more of marketing, and more of branding, because you must understand it as a package. So thank you. This is your friend. This is your business advisor. This is your branding guy, Francis from Bonifo Branding. Thank you, and have a lovely, lovely day ahead.